Now, this video is just going to be for general workflow and additional notes. If you want to change things like the theme or the metronome settings, to change if there's pre-roll or not, as well as how projects are saved, this video is going to cover all of that. So let's say I don't want any of that pre-roll. I can go ahead and go to options, and I can go to metronome pre-roll settings. I could then just turn off the pre-roll button here, this little checkbox. And what will happen is there's no pre-roll. So as soon as I go in and I click something like the record button or Control R, it'll start recording and rolling immediately. There will be no more pre-roll. So that's how you can remove that if that's annoying you. If I want to change the theme, I included a link actually in the previous video. It's going to be linking to this Reaper theme. What I can do is I can go ahead and download the file, and the file will come in the form of a .reaper theme zip. So I just drag this over. I like dragging it to the little blank area here, Reaper, and bada bing, bada boom, it's going to upload all of its assets, and now it looks just like classic Pro Tools 12.5. Things will be in different positions, but if you highlight with your cursor, it'll typically tell you whether or not it functions or does something different. Like over here, I can tap my tempo edit cursor. I can change my tempo over there for the project. Time signature at edit cursor. As you can see, I can just highlight all those things. My record button instead is going to be moved over here, so there it is. If I need to record, I found it. And it's pretty much the theme. It's also going to change how the mix window looks, so Control equals. It's going to have its own skin over here, but everything is still going to be the same, like where my pan pot is, my record enable, my solo and mutes, all that stuff. Now, let's say that you want a project to save, and it's going to save all the files in the project folder. Because I want to save this. I want to make sure I can come back to this project and use the same chain effects, maybe use the same settings, whatever that might be. I'm going to go ahead and click on Options and Preferences. We're going to go to Project over here. Now we're going to select the Open Project Settings. Now under the project settings, you're going to see over here that we can set the project sample rate to be forced at 48,000, which is what we're requesting. That'll be the suggested sample rate that we want. And then from here, I can go to media. This path over here is telling you where the audio files are going to be saved. It'll be saved in a folder called audio files. And it's going to be copying the media to the project path, and that'll make more sense a little later. We have any recording that's done in the DAW done as a WAV file, which is perfect. And we have the wave bit depth here at 24-bit PCM. And then we're just going to want to select markers and regions to be saved with these projects. And that's pretty much it. I could then click Save as Default Project Settings. And now what will happen is those settings will be universal. It'll be global. So that means even if I'm in a different project, it's going to be applied. Now, what do I need to do if I were to save a project? Let's go ahead and do that. So I have an exports folder here, and I have a projects folder. I did this when I was doing the tutorial for Audacity. Let's see what Reaper does if I save a project here. So I'm going to save project. It's going to give me a dialog window to save the RPP file, which is the Reaper project file. So I'm going to want to make sure I go ahead and navigate to my desktop, my exports folder, my projects folder, and I'm just going to name it test. Let's name it test project 2. Click save. Now, if I go to the exports folder, you'll see under projects, my test project 2, it creates a folder, and within the folder is the RPP file. That's great. That's exactly what I want to see and I want to hear. The sad thing is, all these audio files are not going to be saved in that folder just yet. So if I were to be working off of one project, what I'd want to do is save the project first, and then it's going to start making the audio files folder, and that's where all my recordings will be. So for now, if I were to make a new track, let's go ahead and delete this. Control Shift N, name it mic 2. Control equals, set my input device as my microphone. Turn off the direct monitoring, hit record enable, and then get right into it. Control equals, I'm going to click stop. What I should see is a folder be created. And there it is. And that is the recording that was just made. Mic 2, it's going to have some kind of indexing. And if I were to go ahead and take this and put it back in, they're exactly the same file. So that's the difference between Audacity and most DAWs. The DAWs will actually record the clips, and those clips you can physically see in the project folder and move them around, take them with you, all that stuff. You don't necessarily need to actually export the audio, but the export is just useful because this is the raw recording. That was the raw recording. So I can have a full hour of the raw recording. And sometimes that's not really what you need to export. You only need to export one little section. So why I'd ever want to export is because I just need that one section. And I need it from this specific take. So I'm just going to make sure I mute any other channel I'm not using. I could even solo the channels if needed. And all I need to do, let's say I wanted effects on this, like reverb or whatever, that's going to be printed now or exported with the audio. Just go ahead and render. And then for this case, I just want what I've selected. So the source, I can select selected media items. It's going to tell me how many files are being rendered. So I can do the media item itself. Or I can go ahead and do master mix and then select the time selection. So I just want this section here. I can see it reflected, starts at a second, ends at around 2.5 seconds. I can then click render one file. All of my other settings should save from the last time I exported. I'm just going to name this test 2. The render file location will stay the same. It'll typically be with the project file here. So what I'm going to do is in the project folder, I can also put an exported folder in here, exported audio. And I can drop that in there just for organization's sake. Go ahead and click close on these windows. And now with that exported audio folder, I can navigate to it and drag and drop it in and see if it was exactly the same. And yes, it was. So that is some workflow suggestions with Reaper or with RiaTools. Exporting certain regions, wanting to change whether or not you have that recording pre-roll, and also adding themes. If you don't like this theme and you want to change it back, you just go Options, Themes, and you can select any of the defaults that were already built into Reaper, or even select other ones that you've installed. And there you go.